Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Punched Out Thursdays to Die For. And this is yet another page that I'm doing with no particular plan, no sketch, no lift, just a very loud, vibrant piece of background paper, a couple of brightly colored photos, a title, a general plan to leave none of the hearts on this paper. This paper, by the way, is something to do with party, and it's by Damask Love. And it's great, a little hard to use because you can't fussy cut those hearts because they overlap the other ones. And cutting it in strips is tough without chopping off the bottom. I've tried all of these things. I messed up the other piece of paper I had like this, trying all of those things. So I thought, just use the whole sheet, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna lay my photos down first. What I have here is, it's kind of a then and now sort of thing. I found this photo looking through some things just a couple days ago, and it's one of those everyday scenes that used to be so ordinary, just seriously happened every day. John would be sitting at his desk at his computer, and on his side of the desk. My side of the desk is over across it. This used to be our kitchen island in the last home that we had, and we didn't think anybody would buy a house with a lime green kitchen island, so I changed it out for a stainless steel one and brought the island here, took the legs off the bottom of it, and made it a double-sided desk. And Ava's sitting there in her IKEA chair, and we have this set of baskets. She's sitting there with her tablet. I don't know whether she's playing a game or watching a video or what exactly it was, but it was just a scene that I truly miss. I miss her, coming down and hanging with us. And of course, I miss John occupying his chair. So this is a picture of the desk that I took recently. I may have scrapped this one already for a load challenge, but I filtered it, and it really brought out that lime green on the desk. It shows his newer computer, and then this is my big Mac over here. That's my wide format printer, and that's his little baby printer that was kind of the business printer. And, my punches and papers and, kind of the beginning of my craft storage. And, of course, as my journaling says, your desk misses you. So I'm gonna overlay that way. Let's see, I'm gonna do it this way and maybe come up. I don't want to do too much. What I'm trying to do is cover this kind of ugly part of the wall there, empty part of the wall. I'm just going to lay the picture down, and then I'll figure out how to layer the other one. I'm going to get it over here, and I guess that's okay right there. And I have because you all know that John loved sunflowers, I have a sunflower, and that I'm doing the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge, which requires florals. So there's my floral, and there are two of them. there are two florals. And I have a ticket just for no particular reason. I had torn it out to use on my last layout, but the colors weren't right. It's actually going to be my next layout. It's the last one I pulled supplies for. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of layer this back here. And then there should be room somewhere in there for a flare to fit. And I have some epoxy flare. I will tell you that when I was at the Mind the Scrap, at the Dotty About Flair crop, I still can't believe I'm saying those words. I was at a Dotty About Flair crop. I was there. I have these epoxy flare I got from Dotty About Flair. This is one I made myself with some old Epiphany punch supplies, and I printed really small some artwork that Ava had done. And so let's see, will that go in there? Yeah, it will. And I'm going to try some new adhesive. SpiegelMom Scraps sent this with my last, okay, it came off, my last sequin order. And when I tried the first one, it worked differently. I was able to take this backing off and then pick up the adhesive. So it's the right size for using with epoxy flare. So I'm just gonna kind of scooch that in there, and I will probably put a little heart up there, because when you have a paper with 8 million hearts, what you need is another one, right? I'm going to kind of fill in this gap here with that little blue vellum heart. And I'll tell you that what I have done is I used this punch, and where's my little one? I have a little one here, this punch, to do two different smaller size hearts than the hearts that are on here. And I layered some of them, all of them, I guess, but some with more layers than others. And I thought I would go add them to the hearts that are showing. And I don't know which hearts will be showing, but I'm going to put this XOXO flare maybe right there. I don't know. Not sure. I'll hold off on that, and I will hold off on this. And I will tell you that I'm going to use this title that says Remember Today. And I want to do it so that the remember is kind of on the white part, and the today is on the colored part. And then I'm going to fill the open spots in the O, D, and the A with sequins. So let me do that, because layering those hearts is going to be quick. I already have foam dots on the back of them. That's how that's going to go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of lay some glue down in there. And then see what sticks. And I'm using lemonade stand. And there are some little lemons in there that I thought were kind of cute. So I'm just gonna pile them on and press down, and that's gonna spread the glue around and hopefully cause some of these cute things to stick. And then at some point, when I think the adhesive is dry on the title itself, I will turn it upside down. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave it that sort of little mess, and I'm going to do some other embellishing. I have this little baby squirrel, and it's in the perfect lime green color. So I'm going to add that because that's Ava's spirit animal. And I may add some more. I have a whole bunch of them thanks to my friend Suzanne Madison, who I'm going to put the squirrel here on top of this pile of bills, and all this pile of bills and papers and things that need to be tended to are over on my side of the desk now, and I have to tell you, I don't like it. It's not my, I break out in hives at the idea of financial stuff. Okay, and this wrist rest is South Park. John loved South Park. And then his mouse pad over here is a mouse pad made from another piece of Ava's artwork. So Ava's artwork is gonna figure prominently on here. So now let's just go kind of adding these hearts. And I had thought I would overlay them like that, but I think I'm gonna do them kind of wonky, kind of at an angle. And I want to add in this lime green color. I had a little strip of that paper. I want that to be in here kind of prominently. So I have quite a few of those. Let's see, here's another. And I had all different kinds of vellum to cut. And I'm, of course, stealing this idea from Vicki Boutin's Sweet Rush Layered Hearts embellishments that came with that collection. And mine are not nearly as pretty as hers, but and I don't have the nice graduated sizes like she does, but it's kind of the same idea. Let's see, this red, don't want to put next to green. I'm going to maybe put it, we'll go like this. And in some cases, I've folded up the bottom heart. In some cases, I have not. Here's a green. I'm going to do that there, and that's got 2 vellum hearts on top of it. I think I'm going to have enough hearts to go around. Let's see. I want to do another layered one over on this side. Let's see, 2 hearts over. That's a little much with that embellishment right there. So I'm just gonna leave that, and then I'm gonna do this one here, and this kind of plain one, maybe, where do I want to do it? Like, maybe right there. And I have this red one, of a couple red ones, with the triangles. And Lisa Sikorsky is going to be so proud of me for using triangles. I'm gonna, where do I want that? Maybe right up here. And a teal one. I only have one of these. Let's go with that right there. And this one ties in the lime green and the yellow. So I'm going to use it right there. Now I have this flare, which I thought might be cool under there. Let's try this again and see if the backing comes up with the adhesive. Okay. At first it wasn't. Like I said, okay, so now this is what I did the last time, and that works out great. Okay, so let me put this kind of right in here, maybe. And then I've got another little blue heart. That I can kind of squeeze in here. Maybe like that. So it's kind of overlapping that green one. And I have a couple red hearts that I haven't used that could and they're green on the other side, so I could even do that. So there, I'll do it like that. And I could do a green one right there or right here. I'll do it right there. And I'll fold it in half. And this is by no means, you know, like I said, planned or designed. I'm going with the flow of the paper and what I happen to cut out. So I have this XOXO. Let's try this again. And we'll see. I also have another little BrambleFox heart that I thought I might put right there. Let's do that before I forget. And I want to, now I have to let that dry before I can turn this over. So, and I may as well put this on too, because it's going to have to dry. Or why don't I just wait until, that might make sense. Wait until I've dumped those sequins. That's not a normal scrapbooking word, dump those sequins. It's not a phrase you use often, I'm sure, but that's actually kind of what I'm going to be doing. I actually like it like that, if you could read the word, but okay, so I'll put that there, and I'll put this on. Let's see how this one's going to work, if if the adhesive stays down. It seems like it wants to come up. It seems like a very, very strong adhesive that would really hold whatever it is you're putting down. Not the most convenient to use, but once you get the hang of it, it should be fine. So I want to put this, oops, there's a little vellum heart that I forgot, and I'm going to use that, got to use that. So I'm going to put this here, and it's having to kind of bridge a gap there, so it will let me put a little piece of foam under that so it's not leaning down. And this is going to be a really busy, colorful page, you know, so what else is new? Okay, that keeps it where it's supposed to be. Now, let's try dumping the sequins. I'm going to kind of do this and then turn it over and kind of tap. And then we'll see how that worked. Oh, it's cute. It worked great. And I borrowed that idea from someone, and I forget who. I just saw it like in the last few days and thought, okay, I think I have some open letters that I can use. This is this little tiny green heart, and I'm just going to kind of slide it in over here behind this white heart. And I'm going to kind of press on the adhesive to spread it out. That works okay. Now, this I wanted to use here because, and I guess I could use it there. This is the perfect view of the desk. I'm not sure where to do that. I like the sentiment and I like the perspective, but I'm not crazy about that. Now, you all know that John's spirit animal, just as Ava's is the squirrel, because we used to call her baby squirrel, John loves penguins, and that goes back to his the Penguins of Madagascar. I guess the first Madagascar movie, like 2006, 2007, somewhere in there. And he just absolutely fell in love with the penguins. And so I've got some penguins that are the right colors to kind of decorate some of the hearts here. There's a green one right there. And there is a, there's a purple, there's a an orange one that could go, but I want one that's facing the other way. I'm just going to use another green one up here. Just a nod to John's love of penguins. Okay, and I think this is done. It's a crazy, silly page that basically Okay, I've got I knew something didn't look right there. That has a few significant little things. We need something here and here, don't we? Don't we need something? What do we need? Let's see. I can find some little penguins. Here's a gray and black and white one. That can go right there. And then I'll get one that's looking the other way or straight forward. And I'll put it right there. Silly, but I love it. I love this photo. I love the photo, but I hate what it's taking the picture of. And this photo it shows messy, everyday, the way we lived. You know, I can point out, you know, like here, a prescription had just come in. This is the envelope for it. Prescription had just come in from our medical insurance, and we hadn't put it away yet. There's a little film container that he put change in. That's his wallet, which I now use. And the mess of wires between his printer, my printer, his laptop, my computer. and it's, you know, I don't know, hard to express. So thank you for watching, and it looks like I need a heart right there. No, those are a few hearts apart. That's fine. I'm going to leave them like that. I could add stuff to this all day long in the spirit of whimsy, if you will. And there's no need for that. But I can't find the top to my glue, so I need to cut the camera down and go look for my glue. Happy Punched Out Thursday, and I'll include the list of all the others who play along sometimes, and we don't have a team that's out there regularly, but on any of the channels that I give you, you'll find lots of examples of using punches and dies. So thanks for watching. Bye.